It's not like an e-bike, right? You have to do a lot of the stability on this. It's kind of like riding a skateboard with 2 wheels and a stem. Well, that's just the scooter now, isn't it? Please write a comment down below, like, hey man, I ride a scooter and I go off-road. Like, seriously, that's something you do now on an e-bike or a dirt bike. Yes, absolutely, go crazy. On a scooter?
Hey guys, today we have the Circooter Cruiser Pro. It's an off-road electric scooter, and right out of the box, this thing looks like it means business. Under the deck, it's packing 2 1200-watt motors that can peak to a wild 5,460 watts, which is insane for a scooter at this price. You can really feel that torque the moment you pull the throttle. It just launches. The ride comfort is actually one of the biggest surprises here. It's got a dual arm hydraulic suspension setup on both the front and the rear, so it soaks up bumps beautifully. Combine that with 11-inch off-road knobby tires, and this thing feels planted, whether you're on dirt, grass, or pavement. Powering everything is a 48-volt, 20-amp-hour battery with 960 watt-hours, giving you up to a claimed range of 52 miles. This scooter comes in at around 86 pounds, but that sturdy frame supports riders up to 330 pounds, which is impressive. The deck feels spacious. It gives you a solid 20 by 8.5 inches of standing space. And when you're done riding, it folds down from 52 inches tall down to 24 inches. So it's still manageable to store or throw into your trunk. Lighting-wise, it's surprisingly well equipped. You've got a bright headlight up front, turn signals, a rear brake light, and even deck lights. So it looks sharp and keeps you visible at night. The Cruiser Pro is hitting that sweet spot between performance and value. You're getting serious power, range, and off-road capabilities without spending a few grand. If you're looking for a scooter that can commute during the week and hit the trails on the weekend, the Cruiser Pro really lives up to its name. It's a beast on wheels.
Let's just look at the hub real quick before we get jumping. This is your headlight button. You kind of tap that. You see that lights up on the display. Then you have your horn. Then you have your left and the right blinker. Now there is no blinker on the front, it's just on the rear, and it does beep. It doesn't have auto cancellation, so it just kind of reminds you like, hey, you're making a left. When you're done, you gotta flip that. Real simple, easy to use. You have your up and down to go through the different pedal assists, your mode button, that's gonna bring you from single to dual, and that's kind of it. It's really simple, out of the box, very easy. So we're just gonna put it into Power Assist 1 and go and get it. Oh man, I'm gonna have to raise this up. What's that rubbing? What we have is a little bit of a rubbage. This is actually hitting a brake disc. So I can either try to manhandle this or do this, which I wouldn't recommend because, well, I am a professional. And we do not want to bend that disc. That should get rid of all of that noise we just heard. So let's test that again. That's the horn. Now we know what that sounds like. Yep, and now we have no more noise. Yep, problem is gone. Okay, so that was a little strange. I feel like we're gonna have to bring these handlebars up just a little bit because that is a little bit low. I am 6'1", 250 pounds. We're gonna raise that up. It's about right there. When you raise up the handlebars on a scooter, what happens is it kind of brings it closer to your body. I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. So just keep in mind, me being 6'1", I did raise it up about 4 inches. Now this scooter is gonna be interesting because I really don't do a whole lot of scooter reviews on this channel. I love them, but they are for a very specific niche set amount of people. But what's interesting with this scooter, which we're gonna be talking about today, is this scooter, and I'm not just saying this because the company sent it to me. What's interesting is this scooter is really designed, it is all-terrain, you can tell by the knobby tires, but it's really designed for somebody with a budget in mind and doesn't want to go super fast. So you're saying, well, that's not me, I want to go 60 miles per hour. Okay, but I will disagree and say that this is more designed towards somebody that's beginner or intermediate. It's not going to be designed for someone that wants to go super fast, really quick. And you can see already, I've got my finger trigger all the way down on this, and we're only going 16 miles per hour, at least that's what it says. And of course, that is in fact in single motor. Let's talk about the comfortability of this. It's just like any other scooter, right? You're not gonna have a whole lot of rake. It really is a stand up to cruise type of deal. And even though it is knobby tires, it feels good on the road. It's not super loud. Aside from the little bit of noise you just heard from the actual disc rubbing on the rear bracket fender. Rear fender bracket, you get it. It's the fender bracket for the rear. So this right here, this cruising mode in Eco is fantastic. It feels good. It's not super fast. It's very stable. We don't have any stem wobble. Let's try to get into this turn a little bit. It's pretty good. Let's see if while we're riding, we can pump this up to 2 and see what kind of speeds we get on the 2. Says we're going 27 miles per hour. So one of the downsides of actually riding a scooter versus riding an e-bike, you can't just wave to people, right? Unless you really know how to ride a scooter one hand, I try not to. So that's the top speed we're gonna get in the 2. Let's just test these brakes out real quick, see how good they are. They're not bad. And we're just gonna kinda go up. We're gonna try the top speed here in the 3rd mode, single motor. There isn't that much of a difference between number 2 and number 3. You'll see here we are in number 3, full throttle. And we're getting about 31. It shows 30 on the speedometer, but we're gonna change this up and we're gonna move over to dual motors. I know it's a little awkward me stopping right now, but I do wanna cover a couple things that I've just noticed right off the jump of this little bit of ride that I have done. Now on here, you'll see that it says trip 1, distance 2. Essentially, I guess they tested it. But you'll see that it's actually in park mode right now. After it's kind of sat for a while, it goes into this mode where it's kind of like a standby, which is really nice. But we tested all of that. We tested all of that with all single motor. You kind of saw the speed. Now, in order to change it from single to dual, it is a little hard to see. It says single up here. You press that M, that brings it over to dual. And dual is gonna give you more power. Now, keep in mind, you're gonna see a lot of things debating whether or not on an e-scooter, whether dual motor is worse for the battery or better. I guess you could argue and say since you're using 2 motors, it's probably gonna be worse. It's not gonna be better because you're putting more power delivery on the ground, which keep in mind that these are 1200 watt motors a piece, dual. There's a lot of power in this, you know, and you do have good stopping power, but we're gonna test this out, obviously, in dual motor. Kind of kick off, get it rolling a little bit. Now in dual motor, okay, there's a big difference. Big difference starting off. You kind of feel it. And again, finger all the way down in Eco, same speed as single motor, just gets you there a little bit faster. And then we're gonna go over to 2, which I feel like is gonna change. Yep, there it is. And we're gonna test this top speed out in 3 and see how far we can go with it. Whoa. Once you hit that 3, that front wheel almost wants to come up. All right, here we go. Now, okay, so that's about the top speed we're gonna get with that. Now keep in mind that that speed that you just saw right there, I am 250 pounds, 6'1", even though my height has nothing to do with the speed. Well, maybe it does, right? More drag. I'm just basically a refrigerator on a scooter trying to hit 40 miles per hour. Now, yeah, it said 38 on the speedometer. Do I feel like we did 38? No, I'd say probably 32, 33. Now, that could hit 38 if you do have optimal weight, right? Like if you're 140 pounds on here, you might in fact get those types of speeds, but I am not that weight, and yeah, that's just not gonna happen. One thing I get asked a lot in a lot of my reviews is what's the range on it? Can you get that true 50 miles? My issue is simple, is there's so many different factors. And I'm not saying this for the company, I'm saying this on my experience and my experience alone. There's so many factors when we're talking about range. How big are you? Are you going uphill? Are you going downhill? Are you pedaling? But with all of those arguments, well, I mean, aside from the pedaling, the other arguments are valid, right? If it says 50 miles and they base that on somebody that's 150 pounds, will you still get, 50 miles on, if you're 250 pounds? Obviously not, right? Because those motors are gonna be struggling more. It's gonna be more taxing on the battery. So I don't know if you could get 50 miles. I always tell people a safe bet, just cut that number in half. So our electrical system on this is fairly simple, 48 volt, 960 watt hour battery rated at 20 amp hours. And it does come with a 2 amp charger. So from completely dead to 100%, you're looking at about 10 hours. Not bad, and it only does come with one charger, so if you want to buy a second one and speed that time up by half, well, you can, and you're able to do that. Just use the link in the description down below. The scooter, for the price point that it is, I feel like this is in a market, unless I'm so out of the loop, that it's kind of the only one in its class that can do a safe speed. I mean, you see I have full throttle here, and we are in 2, and I'm just kind of cruising, and it feels good, man. It feels stable. I don't have a whole lot of stem wobble. Suspension on this is a little bit stiff. That could be that the PSI is a little bit high on this, but it's stiff, it feels good. It isn't adjustable. You can adjust the sag, but it's not air suspension. And again, at the price point that this is, sub $1,500, are you really expecting all of that? So the braking on this is a semi-long branded, and it's a 140 millimeter disc in the front and 140 millimeter disc in the rear. And I'm just gonna show you the braking real quick. Now keep in mind, you really don't want a bare knuckle or white knuckle scooter braking, but we're gonna do it for the test of the video. So really good stopping power. So we're gonna do something I really do not wanna do, but we're gonna do it just because. Wow, did that get me up the hill? Almost. Oh my God, it did. And that was single motor. I was not expecting that. Here's the thing, off-road scooters. Do I like it? Nope. Am I gonna do it? Yep. So let me tell you why I don't like doing scooters off-road. First off, off-road is exactly what that sounds like. It's off-road. That means we're gonna hit some dirt, we're gonna hit some mud, and we're really gonna test whether or not, oh God. And not only am I fascinated that this is actually handling well, single motor off-road, we're in the eco mode. And this is really how we're gonna test that suspension. And honestly, I don't know. My older years, my knees are just getting bad. Right? I had a little tiny rock and it's the end of the world. I feel like my back's giving out. All right, so off-road, we do have knobby tires, which tells me that's what this is designed for, going off-road. And it feels good. I just don't know many people. Please write a comment down below, like, hey man, I ride a scooter and I go off-road. Like, seriously, that's something you do. Now on an e-bike or a dirt bike, yes, absolutely, go crazy. On a scooter, I don't know. I feel like you'd be jacked. Like you'd have great forearms, great butt, great thighs. It's just like you are working every damn muscle in your body just to keep this thing upright. I wonder, what is the market? Oh my goodness, like what's the market? Who's out there saying, man, I love taking my e-scooter and going off-road? I'm fascinated to hear your comment. Please write it down below. Okay, now onwards. So single motor, you can see we have not changed yet. We are working with the single motor in eco mode, and this thing is hauling my fat ass around up a hill, tiny hill. Well, it's not tiny, but struggling. And obviously this is gonna be taxing the battery. This is gonna affect how much this battery is gonna give us in range. The fact that this motor can even keep up with what I'm doing right now is blowing my mind right now, because this is not easy terrain. Why do I have e-bikes that are double the price of this and can't do that? So looking at your base here, 11.5-inch foot. Let's just lie and say I got a 13, so you know what I'm working with, bigger socks. But so 11.5 size shoe, no problem. You have a good resting spot. Good resting spot up here, so you have a real nice deck. I cannot believe, look, single motor, I hope the camera's picking that up. Single motor, 5 miles. Now, we are not gonna be able to do a full range test just because of what we just did with this scooter, right? We're off-road, really testing the limitations of just the single motor. One more thing worth mentioning on this, you cannot say single motor front, single motor rear. You have single motor option, which is just the rear, or the dual, which is the front and the rear. Taking this off-road at my age, at my weight, I cannot believe that this is handling off-road so easily. Impressed. Let's just pump it up. I feel like I need to go a little faster here. Let's go to 3. So it is stable, it feels good. Do I feel like the scooter's worth it? Yes, honestly I do. Let me give you a side story. So in Jersey, I ran a company called Hazer selling e-scooters. And this is when e-scooters are really picking up. And one of the things that I found fascinating is how expensive they get. Like, you think e-bikes get expensive. Man, you will find more scooters that are 4 or 5 grand than you will e-bikes that are 4 or 5 grand. No joke. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but they're very pricey. So when you find one that doesn't have, 60 mile per hour, and it could do 45, well, not 45, let's 35, let's go with 35. It could do 35. Do I think it's worth $1,300? Absolutely I do. Absolutely. I feel it's comfortable, it's stable. I'm more confident on this because I don't have to do full power. I don't have to do anything crazy. It feels good. And I don't know about you, but if you're just getting into scooters, again, please leave a comment. Tell me, hey man, I ride mine off-road. My calves are jacked because I feel like riding this, whew, it's not like an e-bike, right? You have to do a lot of the stability on this. It's kind of like riding a skateboard with 2 wheels and a stem. Well, that's just the scooter now, isn't it? So the only negatives I really have about this, because I have to give you some type of negative, right? The only real negatives I have with this is the cable management system. It's not perfect, right? Like in the front, it's a little clumpy, and I think that's because we got rid of the display on the trigger finger, which by the way feels fantastic. But you got rid of that, so you have a lot of wires going to that little hub there, and it's not terrible, but I feel like they could have managed it a little bit better and made it a little bit cleaner on the front. That's the only negative I have. The clamping system to hold the stem together, the telescopic system to put it together, it all feels good, man. It does. It does. You could be much shorter on this. I'd say probably 5'5", 5'6", and be comfortable just because of how much that goes down. But all in all, man, it's a solder. It's a solder scooter. And I just want to talk about the name real quick. Circooter. My mind is Cruiser Pro, right? I don't know about the Pro, it's definitely a cruiser. I would have liked to seen street tires on this, but them pushing all-terrain allows them to put the knobbies on it. Across the board, it's a solid scooter, man. You could see I'm much more relaxed on this now, much more confident. It feels better. It's just across the board, it's a solid scooter. Now I ask if you are gonna pick this scooter up, there's a link in the description down below with a code, and that gives you a little bit of a cut. And I also make, I think 5% from this, so you're helping me out. You're not helping out the channel, you're putting money in my pocket. I'm not gonna be like those, oh, you're helping the channel to make future videos. Bro, you're gonna make future videos regardless whether someone clicks on the link. Just stop it. Help a brother out. If you're gonna buy it, use the link. So you'll see on the odometer, we have 6 miles but we did a lot of off-road, right? A lot of power delivery on that rear. Essentially, it looks like we have 2 bars, 3 bars. Obviously, we let this sit longer and let it cool off. We'll probably get 3. So do I think that in single motor, pedal assist 3, will you get 50 miles? Honestly, I'd say probably 30, 35. Doing what I did, probably 25. But I don't know many people that ride that way.